He landed in Tokyo just a few hours ago, and he's meeting Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe over dinner. It's happening right now. For more, CNN's Michelle Kaczynski joins us live from the Japanese capital. And Michelle, can you tell us in total what will be on Mr. Obama's agenda there in Japan?
Hi, Christy. Yeah, this is really the representation of that Asia pivot the Obama administration has been wanting for the president's second term, a sort of rebalancing of U.S. interest towards this important region where so much of the world's economic growth is coming from. So a centerpiece of this trip will be the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership that we've been hearing a lot about lately. This is a trade deal that could include 12 nations, but it doesn't include China, at least not for now. And China has been pushing for its own regional trade deal. And President Obama faces some opposition, or at least balking at this deal at home. In fact, just this week, 63 American lawmakers signed a letter urging the president to demand that if Japan joins the TPP, that they eliminate their tariffs on goods that they import from the U.S. And the U.S. has sort of described the situation with Japan, at least, as at a bit of a stalemate in those talks. They're urging Japan to open up its economy more, especially in the agricultural sector. But that's not to say there aren't other pressing issues in this region that also affect the U.S. There is the North Korea threat of provocation. South Korea is probably most concerned about that. Also, different disputes over territory. Malaysia and the Philippines are involved in those with China. And that relationship, the U.S. with China, China with the other countries in this region, are all interconnected. And the U.S. doesn't want to set up a situation where these allies in Asia feel like they need to choose between alignments from one or the other, Christy.
Now, there'll be a lot of discussion on trade, on territorial issues, concerns about North Korea as well. And it's interesting that this four-nation trip in Asia will not include China. I mean, China is not going to be a stop on Mr. Obama's tour of the region, but will China nonetheless loom large and be a major talking point in the days ahead?
Absolutely, and the U.S. and China have been talking lately, and China especially has described this major power relationship that they want to form with the U.S. Well, in some ways, that makes other nations in the region a bit nervous. They have their own issues with China, and what they're looking for from the U.S. is a commitment. Again, though, the U.S. doesn't want to sort of put China throughout these talks on the other side. They don't want to make that split. This is going to be important for President Obama to kind of strike a balance or walk that line between making these credible commitments economically and diplomatically with these nations, but still maintain a sense of cooperation with China, kind of wanting to put out there this goal of let's all work together, but still realizing there are some real tensions that lie just below the surface of that, Christine.
All right, Michelle Kaczynski reporting live from Tokyo. Thank you so much for that.